Hey, Thrive Lab listeners, Lou Diamond here. You're about to hear a fun catch-up episode with Brant Pinvidic here on Thrive Loud. I will tell you, his new book, The 3-Minute Rule, is awesome. It comes out today, October 29th, 2019. It is tremendously effective and useful, something you could put to use right away. You're going to hear in this catch-up episode how I actually used Brant and his 3-minute rule, put it to work to make a really effective pitch with a real important client opportunity. So check it out, The 3-Minute Rule. Say less to get more from any pitch or presentation. And enjoy this fun episode on Thrive Loud with Brant Pinvidic.
Get ready to Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond.
Welcome to a special Thrive Loud catch-up episode with one of our more popular guests. The Brant Pinvidic is with us today. Brant, how are you?
Yeah, the Brant Pinvidic. I'm moving up in the world.
Speaker, author, director, producer, host, coach, and a guy that we couldn't have better timing because today, his amazing book, The 3-Minute Rule, Say Less to Get More from Any Pitch or Presentation, comes out today. How excited are you?
I know, it's Drop It Down Day. I like it. I'm very excited. I got a big party tonight, so going to do a lot of that. You'll see a bunch of cool stuff on the Instagrams and the Facebooks, I think. So it'll be good. A little red carpet. I mean, if you're going to do this one time, you got to make it big. You got to make it big.
So the listeners need to hear this. And if you follow Brant Pinvidic, and he's been on our show before, he has such a great story, and we went through all of that the last time. But what he's been doing leading up to this book launch is actually priceless. And I could describe it, but I really want you to share that you'll do anything for books. Will you not, Brant?
I mean, we'll work for books. Hashtag kind of exploded. The funny thing was, it was just like, the publisher asked me a couple times, hey, this place will have you come speak. They want to know if you'll waive your fee and they can buy books instead. And I was like, listen, for the next 2 months, I will go speak or go see anybody you want that will buy books. That's my commitment to you, said publisher. And so that just sort of like spread out to a couple friends, asked me, hey, will you come talk to my company then? And I was like, well, will you buy books for everybody in the company? And then they're like, yes. And then I got this whole idea that I was just like, anything anybody asks me for the next 2 months, I'll just say yes. And it'll just, whatever, how many books you got to buy. So I had a couple in Vegas who was big fans of mine, and they wanted me to come have dinner with them. And I was like, okay, you buy books, I will come to Vegas today and I'll have dinner with you tonight. And they were like, how many books? I was like, 25 books. They're like, done. And so they sent me the Amazon receipt and the plane ticket, and off I went. And it was amazing. We had so much fun. So then I've had people to the house because I cook a crazy dinner on my Benihana grill, and people come out to the house to ride the horses. And I mean, it's been, the number of things have been like really funny with bike riding.
Yeah, I saw bike riding.
Birthday messages.
It's really
songs for people. I mean, it's on.
Really impressive. So now let the listeners know that I took advantage of this as well.
Yes, you did.
So here's the story. What I did was I had to go out to Northern California, to Palo Alto, helping one of my clients deliver a pretty big pitch. And amazingly, the pitch was a 3-minute pitch that needed to be done. And I'm seeing all this promo for Brant, and I knew that we were going to time this so that we can catch up with you to feature this book. And I said, you know what? Let me run by what we're doing in this pitch to Brant. And in the same exchange, Brant basically stepped up to the plate, helped me craft the message for this client that we're presenting to, which we did together. It was fun. It was like it was great to see like putting his stuff in action, and then we're trying to fit the pieces. It went over spectacularly well, and as promised, the entire team pre-ordered the books.
Yes.
And we all bought them. So we now the total, I will let you know, is at 10, and I will let you know that we're upping that number to a total of 20 books at the time of this purchase.
Because I was going to say that we nailed that. We nailed that pitch. Like that was We nailed that one. That was good.
I think we'll probably do a write-up and summarize that pitch to some people and get to show you how great it was. I'll send you the finished product, by the way, because you heard like versions of it. But thank you.
I was really impressed. It was good. I'm glad we did well.
With all of this, because let's talk about what I've been seeing from you from when we first had you on and the difference, which is about a year ago, by the way, which is kind of crazy. It's like, crazy. I guess 10 months ago. It's nutty. I've been watching you speak and now sharing the lead up now to this book. Can you talk to our listeners about how you're delivering this message? Because there's so much excitement around it, but it's also, you've really honed in your message on how you're communicating to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing was, and when we spoke last, like I didn't really have anything to sell. I was just getting into writing the book. And so now that I've had a chance to work with so many different companies and speak so often, it's like, listen, I really can lay out how to simplify your message, what you want to deliver, the things that you know and understand about your business, product, or service. I can help you translate those things into someone else's understanding. And that really is the core of any form of influence. Or if you want somebody on your team or you want them to come over to your side, you got to start with the fundamental understanding. And that really starts with the building blocks of your information so that they understand it in the same way you do. And being able to do that and help people do that and working with, companies across the spectrum of different industries has just been so crazy rewarding. I'm so addicted to it. I was just saying earlier, it's like, I'm kind of like a caveman with my sort of ego. It's just nice being important and being needed and being helpful to people has just been like so much better than producing TV.
I want to rewind a little bit too, because this will bridge the gap here because it fits in so nicely. We spoke when you came to New York, when we first met, and you told me that you said yes to everything. Can you share with the listeners what that was about? Because you were in a window of doing unbelievable things. Share with the listeners what that's about.
It was just sort of this life-changing moment for me where I decided I wasn't going to be the TV executive anymore. I was going to give up that sort of the lucrative nature of that business because it had sucked the life out of me, and all it was a good paycheck. And I was going to go and sort of like embrace my midlife crisis of wanting to figure out what to do next and working through the book. But the biggest thing for me was the kids were getting a little bit older. They didn't want to play as much. And so I wasn't like every weekend wasn't taking them to do fun stuff. I have a red sports car. I always joke my wife's still built like an 18-year-old. So it's like I didn't have anywhere to put my midlife crisis. And I just started with that thing. Like, I'll go do anything you ask, anything you want to do. And for me, it started out like, hey, you want to play softball this weekend? Yes. You want to go to the movies? Yes. Will you come help me move this weekend? Yes. Like, I just got in that mode, and it was like, it opened me up to all these different things and all these different people. And it just sort of spun into this world where it's like, I just like to do things. I like to be active. I like to go out and try things. And then I stopped waiting for invitations, and I made up invitations. I go invite you to do fun stuff. And so that's just been my sort of life been spinning like this, and it's been a blast.
So speaking of blast, and now we'll connect all the dots together. Thrive Loud listeners are familiar with Oren Klaff, who's been on the show a bunch of times, and we did a Thrive Loud catch up with him. And I was laughing because you caught up with Oren, and Oren took you driving.
Yeah.
He's got quite a collection, does he not?
Yeah, he's got a lot of fun toys. And, he's just like a big kid, like a big energetic kid around them, which I love that. And he was the same thing. He's like, hey, come spend the day with me. We'll figure out what to do. Yes. Okay. So I drove way the hell down there, and we had the greatest time. And we're really similar in a lot of ways. But we complement each other too, the way we sort of approach things. And it was really fun. He's a really good dude. And he's very excitable, and I'm very excitable. So next thing you know, we're driving around, we're making plans. So it's just that world of yes opens you up to so many things. And I have to train. So in television, let me back up. In television, it's a very difficult business, right? I don't want to say cutthroat, but it's really competitive, and it's hard to stay sort of on top and relevant. And everybody in my business is feeling that pinch right now because TV is a shrinking market and entertainment's tougher to tie down. And so I get a lot of people coming out to me to sort of say, hey, listen, I know you do a bunch of coaching now. Would you like guide me through the next iteration of what my career should be? And a lot of times I'm like, you've already seen what the next move for your career should be. You've already met all of the people that can open the doors for you. You just have never been looking for that. You've been looking for one small area. And when you start opening your sort of eyes and your mind to like various people and all the people you meet on a day-to-day basis and the connections you have, it just opens a world. And like Orem was that for me, where it's like I didn't expect us to get along, but so easily, but it's just like we're just open to that kind of stuff.
I'll tell you what I'm open to, Brant. We're recording this right now, and I'm in California. As I told you, I live on the wrong coast. It is amazing out here.
It's totally a good lifestyle. Yeah, it's a good lifestyle.
It's hard, although the price of gas in California, I can't understand. There's a 4 in front of the price per gallon. Yeah,
you could start a lot of the problems with California with the starting of the price of. So yes, you have to get used to some of that thing, that element of it. But there's a lifestyle side to it that's really hard to escape.
Okay, we're going to do the plug thing. You're going to give one, and I'm going to then give an additional one here. Share with the listeners, because today the book comes out, The 3-Minute Rule.
Yeah, it is available right now.
And where can they go get it?
You can go to 3minuterule.com, and you can get all the links to all your favorite bookstores and any of the indies if you want to do that. Or, of course, Amazon has it. I'm suspecting it'll be way up on the Amazon list. It was the #1 new release last week, and so hopefully I can keep that up. Amazon's hard to stay relevant with those guys, so I got to keep plugging it and pushing it. So we'll see. I figured it should do well today. Today's a big day.
So I'm going to give a plug to all the listeners out here. We have a lot of authors and books that come in, and I wanted to do this one, not only because Brant is sharp. His book is so on point, very tactful and useful, stuff you can put together for not only, I guess, the pitch for your own business or how you're selling things. You could even do it for yourself on how you market yourself. And you could spin the 3-minute rule into a lot of ways. I've looked at it that way. I have the copy in front of me right here, which is pretty cool. And I can't wait to actually do some photo thing. My next plug for Brant: if you don't follow him on Instagram, go follow him on Instagram, because watch the stuff he does in his stories. And today I'm sure there will be tons of stuff, and I look forward to what this party is going to be like. So
yeah, we'll have some fun today. And you find, I think what the 3-minute rule really captures is it's the way we desire communication today. We want to be spoken to cleanly, crisply, clearly with information, and it trains you to do that for your pitches, for the way you talk to other people, and the way you listen. I find that I'm able to hear the value in people's information, even when they're blabbering more than I've ever used to before, because I've been practicing these techniques. And so I find people are using it almost like a guide for life communication as much as they are pitching and presenting.
I know you're in major book zone right now, and that's all you could be thinking about. Looking ahead a little further down the calendar, anything you're thinking about doing something fun that you could share with the community?
I do what's called my Executive Experience series for my Reject Average Travel and Adventure Club. And we're doing great white shark diving in November.
Ooh.
16 members. I chartered the boat that usually takes the Shark Week crew down to Guadalupe for the Time of the Titans. And they had a production snafu, and I swooped in and got the entire boat. So I chartered the whole thing. So 16 members, executives from all different areas and industries will come down, and we'll do that. And we do, we'll have speakers come in. We do a bunch of masterminding, cool development stuff. But that's like the height of excitement for me, is combining what I'm doing in the business world and my coaching and speaking with all the fun, crazy, cool adventures that my Reject Average Club does.
Brant, I got to get on that boat.
It is.
How many books is that? How many books is that going to cost me now?
That one's a few. That's a few books. But listen, if you buy enough books, you get a ticket right on there.
Oh, that's awesome. Brant Pinvidic, can't thank you enough for catching up with us here. This has been awesome. Continued success to you. Congrats on the book. And,
right on.
And continue to thrive loud, my brother.
Let's go.
You got it. And to all our listeners out there, thank you for joining us. Until next time, keep thriving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes, Overcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. And follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Thrive Loud. Or find us on the web at thriveloud.com.